Let me tell you something about obligation. Because I am a true charlatan. True charlatan. I grew up here, went to school here. I moved back here when I got out of the military. I've been back here for the past 15 years. Essentially, I have lived 90% of my life in Charlotte. So, when it comes to Charlotte Pro Sports, I am a true fan. Sometimes that leads to obligation. And sometimes obligation can be painful. And today, very, very painful. And the only reason I watched the Hornets get blown out by 40 and then watch the Carolina Panthers give up a lead in 16 points in the fourth quarter to a team they had beaten 6 straight times was due to obligation. That's the only reason I watched those games.
I myself have spent the majority of my life in Charlotte, and every time around October of every year, I get excited, because it's newness. It's like, man, it's a new season. You got new hopes. You got things that you think are possible. Man, what if they do this? Man, what if they do that? Hey, the Hornets can do this. Hey, the Panthers can do that. And I see this damn groundhog just coming out the damn ground every year. And yeah. I you know what, Kaza, damn the game. You want to talk? Let's talk alcohol. Like, what are y'all drinking out?
Okay, so I'm drinking. I'm on Guinness today, mainly because of what I actually got in my fridge. But I'm a Guinness fan. I've always loved Guinness.
I am drinking Golden Monkey. It is one of my favorites, man. It's like what is this? This is a triple. Not necessarily one of my favorites, but I do mess with Golden Monkeys, man. I think this is 8%, so this is going to do us pretty well on the show today. We normally don't drink on air. That's unprofessional. But you know what? If the Panthers and the Hornets are going to be unprofessional, why should we be professional?
Be professional, yeah.
Damn professionalism today. That should be the theme for Charlotte sports and society today. Damn professionalism.
Yeah.
Look, y'all in the comments, for those who've joining us today, number one, thank you. But don't be professional. Just sound off.
Just you know what? Our friend Jerry Valancourt, who we're going to have to get on the show here soon, told us a while back, don't hold back when it comes to your home sports teams.
No.
Don't be nice on your podcast or on your show. Don't be nice. They got to know that they're putting out a trash product.
They ain't got to worry about that with us.
No. I'm tired of being nice. Okay. Let's start. Who we want to start with today? Okay, we'll start with the Panthers since that's fresh in our heads.
Yeah.
So the Carolina Panthers played a home game in which nobody was there. Rodney was there. Rodney went to the game and sent us some pictures. Nobody went. I can't complain about fans not going because I didn't go, but nobody was there. So
let me cut you off there. I used to go to damn near every game, and I have no desire to go to Panthers games. No, not just because I'm fat and I have a bad back. That's one reason. But even if I wasn't, I just don't think I want to have. I just want to spend the time and the effort to go see that product right now. Like,
go ahead.
I mean, like, getting up, spending $30, $40 to park somewhere. And if you don't, you're walking half a mile or a mile to the stadium. Walking up, if you miss the escalator, you're walking up ramps. Do I really want to give that kind of effort to go see the Panthers?
So I'd have to drive like all the way to South Boulevard, park, catch the light rail, be on the train, 20-minute train ride.
Yep.
Hop off train, walk half a mile to the stadium.
Yep.
There's at least 50,000 other people. I'm gonna be sitting in the 500s because I ain't paying. You know what I'm saying? I ain't paying. Yeah, so I'm sitting in the 500s. Like you said, I got to take the stairs to the escalator. Watch us look stupid, and then come back home on a train full of depressed, drunk people, and drive. I don't want now. The only good thing about going to the game is you don't have to listen to Jonathan Vilma Stupid ass. I shouldn't say that, but he's not stupid.
Let's just blame him for the loss. But go ahead. Let's
okay. All right. So the game. Okay. So the Carolina Panthers lost today to the Arizona Cardinals, a team that we had beat 6 straight times. I really had owned that series ever since dominating them in the 2016 NFC Championship game. The Panthers really, kind of set the tone for the game and were holding on to victory until the defense got tired. I want to say that completely. I am not blaming. If you look at the score, you would think, man, we look bad defensively. That was not the case.
Right.
The offense lost this game for the Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield, hell, I'll throw Christian McCaffrey in there too. Well, I really can't because he was the only person that showed up to play. But everybody on the offense looked inept. The play calling on the offense looked inept. Matt Rule on the sideline looked inept. And what ended up happening, the story of the game was that because we couldn't score, our defense got tired out. And because the game was so close, Arizona was able to make a late game adjustment and ended up winning the game. That was really sealed because Baker Mayfield is too short to play quarterback. And okay, so here's the thing about Drew Brees is a short quarterback as well. Drew Brees
and not to mention, we got our ass kicked by a short quarterback today, too. So
I don't know how many times. I never really saw Drew Brees passes get batted down. Didn't happen. I don't know. But what happened to Baker Mayfield is either his pass got batted down or to compensate, he was overthrowing. He was throwing high. We saw him miss so many open guys because he's overthrowing high because he's afraid his pass is going to get batted down. He threw a bad pick. One of those picks was just bad. It was a bad throw, and then the second one got batted down and taken back for a pick six. I don't even know where to start with this game from a pure analysis standpoint because
it could be, you know why it's hard to, because when you're so trash and it looks like everything is bad, it's really hard to narrow down exactly what was bad when everything is bad. That's why you're finding an issue with that. But to your point about Baker Mayfield, man, I think it's pretty simple. I think there are two things going on with Baker Mayfield and his batted down passes. Number one, offensive line is still bad. They're playing better, but they're still bad. Let's make no mistake about it. Number two, he's staring down receivers. The D linemen are simply looking at his eyes. That's all you got to do. Because, again, Kyler Murray doesn't have this problem. Drew Brees doesn't have this problem. Doug Flutie didn't have this damn problem. So, again, it's as simple as looking off the guy that you're actually going to throw to, man. And Pollard, I know good and damn well you're not coming here beat Don't you even start today. Damn it, I'm not in the mood. But anyway, man, I just think it's as simple as not staring down your receivers, man. And the Panthers do him no favors with that offensive line. So I think it's that simple.
For perfect example, 4th and 1, early in the game, Panthers decided to go for it, which wasn't a bad call at all. They decided to run Christian McCaffrey, which actually wasn't a bad call at all. But Taylor Moton whiffed the block and allowed the linebacker to shoot the B gap, and he got a hand on McCaffrey and stopped him, preventing him from getting a first down. That was the story of the Carolina Panthers all day. It didn't matter. 10 guys could do something right. One guy does something wrong, and the whole thing, because that's the nature.
Falls apart. Falls apart.
And nothing went. I'm not even gonna say nothing went right because it was the Panthers' fault. Nothing could go right from the bad throws to the play calling to the offensive line to Ian Thomas. Bro, catch a pass, man. Catch a pass. I'm gonna get on Tommy Tremble too, and I like Tommy Tremble, but you dropped the gimme. Like the only time Mayfield threw a dart today, you dropped it. I don't get it.
But and the thing is, see, this is where it goes from dysfunctional to inept, because even when you do things right and something still goes wrong, that makes you inept. We're calling Taylor Moton's name for all the wrong reasons recently, man. Again, this guy's getting paid too much money for us to be calling his name like that. Now, I'm willing to give the other team credit. J.J. Watt is still a damn good football player, okay? And he caused a lot of disruption on defensive end for the Panthers today. So, again, I give him credit, man. But at the same time, Ben McAdoo, he makes no adjustments. Baker Mayfield didn't make any adjustments until it was too late. And that's the most frustrating part. We get down to this last drive, and we score pretty easy on this last drive, and you think to yourself, where was this 3 quarters ago? Why are you not making the adjustments when you actually need to? And it's just frustrating, man.
Now, Joshua says, has anybody seen our pass rush? I'm going to disagree with the implication there. I thought the pass rush today was great, and if it was anybody else but Kyler Murray, they would have got to the quarterback more. They flushed him out. They made him. They forced him into some bad throws, and that bobbled snap on 4th down that the Cardinals had early in the game was caused because their offensive line was afraid. They were like, we got to get off the ball first. I felt like Phil Snow didn't call a great game, but I like that he was aggressive. My only thing with Phil Snow was that once the Cardinals made an adjustment, Phil Snow did not make a readjustment on the defense.
There wasn't a counter adjustment made.
No,
right?
It was not. It was, and I'm going to be a little fair to Phil Snow. He really shouldn't have had to make an adjustment. The way the defense was playing in the first half and through the first part of the 3rd quarter,
it was good enough.
Panthers should have been up 2 or 3 touchdowns at that point and been forcing Arizona to just throw the ball to play catch up. But they didn't have to do that. They were able to run some screen passes. They were able to run the ball a little bit here and there. They were able to tire that defense out. The Panthers were playing very aggressively, and the Cardinals were able to take advantage of that. And suddenly it's 13-10. Now your defensive game plan, you can't play defense the way you were playing defense before because now you're running out of clock. Arizona's got a lead, and they're just going to run the ball now.
And not to mention, man, I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about how much we missed Jeremy Chin when he went out the game.
That's true.
Yeah. I will give Kyler Murray some credit, man. One thing he is infamous for is looking at matchups. He looked at C.J. Henderson and Miles Hartfield every damn possession. He said, I'm going to one of these 2 guys on every throw. Yep. And he did. And they were terrible. Miles Hartfield and C.J. Henderson, they were awful, absolutely awful today, man. So, and those are the type of things that, again, we can't blame Phil Snow for. He has to go with what he has. You know what I mean? There are no backups behind C.J. Henderson or Miles Hartford that's going to be any better option. So I can't really blame him for that. They just got to step up and play better, and that's pretty much the bottom line.
Yeah, I like I said again though, I'm not gonna. I really can't levy much criticism against the defense today. I felt like they played well. They set the tone. They essentially, carried the offense until they just couldn't anymore because they got tired. They just got tired. I mean, the offense, they did nothing to help the defense out. If the offense scores even 1 touchdown in the first half, like 1 legit touchdown, the score is 14-3 going into the half.
Well, we're talking about a different ball game. Yep.
Then we get the ball back, and it's maddening. It's just so maddening that our offense can't get out of its own way. And y'all can say what y'all want, but I made a comment on this show, and I made it on Facebook, that Baker Mayfield was like a Hyundai to Sam Darnold's Kia. Like, that's no different. And people are like, man, you crazy. You crazy. Baker Mayfield way better than Sam Darnold. You crazy. Well, who's crazy now? Because you got to really convince me that Baker Mayfield is any better than Sam Darnold. And our boy Rodney said while we were chatting during the game, Teddy Bridgewater has been our best QB since Cam left, and that's true. That's 100% true.
That is 100% true.
Yeah, so now I'm wondering, like, so now what? What are we going to – so now we built this really solid defense.
Right.
We don't have no linebackers. Who's playing linebacker?
Frankie Louvu and who else? Frankie Louvu, Shaq Thompson, and who else?
I mean, he's playing like the hybrid safety position.
Right.
So
right. And then they put him on the line sometimes, depending on down and distance.
Where's Shaq Thompson? Did he play today?
Who?
Yeah.
Who? Shaq who?
Yeah.
Hadn't heard his name in a while. Don't know. I'm not sure.
But still, we built a really solid defense over the last few years. and now we don't have the offense to complement it. We at this point, we would be fine with just a game managing offense. We don't even have that.
So speaking of that, man, one name that we have not mentioned and talked about yet. Let's talk about Mr. McAdoo, because let me before we do. Hey, my name is Jamal Darby, and I was wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and say that this guy right here was wrong. I cannot believe at this point that I was excited about this guy, because that offense looks as plain and vanilla as a damn wafer. Like, it is so predictable. It's almost like I know what plays we're going to run on every down. And I'm sure that defense knows as well, man. It was a whole big stick about it. Dan Orlovsky broke down the damn film on it. And I'm sitting here like, wow. Can't even hold the phone.
Anytime that's a great question, which we will get to today or later about the Hornets offense. I'm going to say the Panthers offense, because how do you fumble twice in the same play without getting hit?
Without getting hit.
How do you do that?
Nobody hit you. Hit you.
It looked like a Madden glitch. You ever just have like some shit having a Madden? You gotta pick up the damn ball, and he won't. And keep fumbling. That's what that play looked like.
Oh, good Lord, have mercy, man.
The Panthers have so many problems right now. First of all, it starts at the QB. It does. Baker Mayfield, he's not good. Sorry, he's not. You got to convince me. I said it before the season started. I'm gonna keep saying it until he has a good game. And you can say, some people are gonna say, well, he missed OTAs and mini camp, so that's his damn fault. But okay, so we did, and maybe he's got some timing issues with the receivers he needs to work on. Okay, I'll give you that. But this is the NFL, bro. You gotta at least be able to know how to throw a back shoulder throw to a guy running a 7 route, which he didn't even do that. It wasn't even back shoulder. He threw it to the inside, and DJ Moore had to turn around to make a one-handed catch on a ball he couldn't even see, and he throws a pick.
And not to mention, you have DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. Those are two pretty big targets. It's hard to miss those guys, but yet he finds a way to miss those guys frequently. So it's one thing about time and the chemistry, man, but when you have two receivers who have a big catch radius like that, I can't give him that pass too much, man. I'm sorry, man.
I don't know what it is with Baker Mayfield either. Now, could it be that, he was injured for a lot of last season, and it was a very significant injury. Maybe he just never honestly recovered. We see that happen a lot, especially in the NFL. We saw it happen with Cam Newton. Ever since he took that hit in the shoulder against Pittsburgh, he was never the same. And even though Cam was relatively healthy at times after that, he was never the same. He just couldn't push the ball downfield like he was able to before. And it could be the same thing with Baker Mayfield. He just doesn't have the fire that he had in Cleveland. There's something missing with Baker Mayfield. And I don't know what
it's funny you mentioned that, man, because we mentioned on week 1 during the first half of that Cleveland Browns game, how, Baker Mayfield seemed very zen-like, and he was very calm. And we kind of joked like, all right, this calm thing is cool, but we need fiery Baker Mayfield out there for the second half, which we saw. We should have won the game aside from a bullshit penalty call, but whatever.
Right.
So, but to your point, man, I just wonder how much of this is mental, because it doesn't seem like he's playing with any edge. And the scary part, the really, really scary part about this is I noticed in the second half, man, his confidence looks in the tank. It looks like it's all but done. And that's pretty scary going forward, man. Like, if we don't have a confident guy, then why is he out there? You might as well put PJ Walker in at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, Cam could throw over the line. Yeah, I bet people are missing those overthrows now. What's crazy? The Panthers are not even bad enough to be in the Drake May sweepstakes.
Right.
Like, the defense is good enough to carry them to like 6 wins.
5 wins, 6 wins, something like that. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk stats.
Don't beat the Falcons. That I'm cool.
They'll beat the Falcons. I'm not worried about it. All right, let's talk stats. Baker Mayfield, 22 for 36 for 197 yards, 5 yards to throw. 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 61 quarterback rating. The Panthers rushed 13 times for 40 yards.
Pathetic.
In a game, they led most of the way. How does that happen? Generally, when you're leading, aren't you running the ball more?
Well, here's the thing, man. Here's my viewpoint. The Cardinals are not scared of Baker Mayfield, so they're stacking the box. They stacked the box the entire game, and they're not scared of Baker Mayfield throwing the ball down the field.
Absolutely not.
And if you can't throw the ball downfield and you got the other team stacking the box, then you get results like this. It's pretty hard to function, and it's pretty hard to sustain any kind of drive if you can't do so. And to me, that's what we saw all game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think Ben McAdoo, he can't be scared to run it. You know how many teams, if that's what they do, run the ball, they're gonna run against the stack box. They don't care. They're gonna. Hell, Cleveland, we can stack the box against Cleveland, but that's what a team like Cleveland's gonna do. Like, okay, you're gonna stack the box. We don't care. We're gonna run it.
But you know what, Kaza? We even did that last week. The Saints were essentially doing the same thing, and we were not scared to run the ball anyway. We did it last week, and we won the game. So why go away from it this week? That's something I don't understand.
And I love Christian McCaffrey, although there is a lot of debate over whether or not we should have paid him all that money. But why is he the number one receiver? Why does he have 8 catches, 9 catches for 81 yards and the only touchdown?
Still.
Why? Now, here's the thing. In open space, McCaffrey's damn near unguardable by a linebacker.
Yeah.
And the Panthers should exploit those matchups. They don't do it enough. But here's the thing. You would think you could exploit those matchups to the point where defensive coordinators, you got to keep them honest. They start to get scared. And then that opens things up for Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. You know what I see every play? Drop back. Oh, shit, here come a defensive lineman, run around. There goes somebody, throw it. Ball batted, incompletion, pick, maybe a completion.
Right. Now, I don't know if you saw the news about what Matt Rule said to the receivers. He basically told them, he said, get open. Matt Rule essentially said what we said last week. If you want the ball, get open. Now, I saw a bit of an effort to try to get the ball to DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson a little more today. I at least saw the attempt, but it still just wasn't enough. And it just wasn't enough of downfield, make them respect us downfield type of throws. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like, also, sometimes guys were open and they couldn't even make the catch. Trumbull had a wide open catch that would have been very valuable early in the game. And then Ian Thomas, dropped a gimme. But then, DJ Moore gets open and Baker Mayfield throws it to the wrong shoulder and it's a pick. I don't know, man. Just my day was already ruined. We'll talk about that in a minute. But who's your offensive MVP?
Offensive MVP.
McCaffrey. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Defensive MVP. You have a lot you could pick from here, but I think we all know the obvious answer.
Yeah, man. Frank.
What?
What you got?
Brian Burns.
Okay.
Brian Burns chased Kyler Murray all over the damn field today.
Yeah.
And still had a sack, 3 tackles for loss, and a QB hit with 7 total tackles. That was a good game from Brian Burns, especially since the first 3 weeks, teams been kind of freezing him out.
Yeah. Let me say this. I'm so tired of us being right because last season, we told y'all about Frankie Louvu. We told y'all this young man was going to take a step up once Hassan Reddick left. And voila, look at what's happening. Frankie Louvu has been the best Panthers defensive player this year. I know that's a bit of a Skip Bayless hot take, but damn it, I believe that to be true. I am going to pick him for defensive player for defensive MVP today. 11 tackles, had the interception, had the touchdown. So to me, he's the MVP for the day, man. So shout out. And look, I'm gonna tell you what I like about Frankie Louvu. Now, every now and again, there's some dumb penalty. You're like, all right, Frankie, calm down. But I like the edge. I like the fact that he was nasty.
I was okay. Yeah, I was okay with that penalty. It wasn't like a helmet-to-helmet hit or a dirty hit or something. He threw the guy down after the whistle was blown. And Jonathan Vilma was like, you can't do that. Dude, it's football. It's not like he did. I mean, it's a penalty. Yeah, that should be a.
It's not like his coach had a. It's not like his coach had a bounty on the guy, Jonathan Vilma.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I wasn't even mad at Frankie Louvu for that play. He's trying to do something to get the team fired up because everybody else was just yeah. I will say this. I'll go back up here to this comment. If that completed pass had stood, he was there throwing it to Baker. He was like confident. He stood back there. He was like, okay, there go my dude. I mean, nice spiral.
Hey, Steven, when that happened, I actually tweeted, I said, that's probably the most accurate ball we've seen thrown all game.
Exactly. We've said that like all season kind of as a joke, but it's probably true. Like Johnny Hecker MVP. Like the Panthers offense is so bad that he might make the Pro Bowl just because he has to punt so damn much. And his numbers are going to look absolutely ridiculous here. Also, go ahead.
Could you imagine the field position game without Hecker? Like we'd constantly be putting our defense in that many more bad situations without the field position game. Yeah. So yeah.
Also, Eddie Pinheiro.
Still perfect.
Hey, he's made Zane Gonzalez kind of obsolete, right? I mean,
yeah, right.
So the coaching staff can pick kickers well, which is college shit. That's some college shit, right? Being able to pick correctly.
Right.
You know.
Oh man.
All right. Next week, the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, the Carolina Panthers continue their NFC West run with a home game against the 49ers, which will be an away game. There will be a lot of 49ers here, and it's another 4:00 game, which means, I have to go to bed feeling salty again because we're going to lose that game. We're going to lose.
Yeah. So here's my official prediction for the game. I'm going to go 24-7, and the defense will score another touchdown. The offense won't score. I'm predicting the offense will not score.
The Panthers right now are actually favored to win that game, which is
how
ridiculous. Well, I mean, the 49ers are 1-2. They have not won the road game. They're playing on the road. They do have to travel. All the way around the country. I could see the bookie saying, okay, this might be a tough – and Carolina's defense is pretty good. They're like top 10 in every major category. So I could see but I here's what irked me about the Panthers the entire game. Clearly, among other things, there have been improvements defensively each week. From week one to this week, we had seen improvements on the defense. The defense looked ready to play today. They came out, they got a pick six. They were hitting hard. They were laying the wood. They were getting after the quarterback. Even when they didn't get him, they were able to get pressure. They were doing all the things right that you want a defense to do. I didn't see a single improvement offensively from the Carolina Panthers. Not one. There is not one thing I could say, okay, they did that better than last week. Nothing, except maybe the offensive line and pass protection was, a little
much better,
barely acceptable. But I don't see how. Okay, so obviously, it's been 4 weeks now. We're not going to see any improvement from the offense. This is the Carolina Panthers offense. So
that's sad. You'd really just depressed the hell out of everybody. But
it's true. Did I tell a lie? It's 4 weeks into the NFL season. This is what we got. And you can say anything you want about Sam Darnold, but somebody remind me what the Panthers record was after week 4 last week or last year.
So, are you saying that we're starting back a hurry back and get well Sam Darnold thing? Is that what's happening now?
No, I'm saying something I thought I'd never say. Tank. It works in the NFL. Tanking works in the NFL. It doesn't work in the NBA because of the lottery system. But in the NFL, you can tank and it works. However, having said that, in the NFL, everybody in the first round is very valuable. So it might not be necessary to tank, but might be. We got to shoot for. We need a franchise quarterback. So why not go after the one that everyone says is going to be a franchise quarterback?
All right, so I'm going to double down, Kaza. And I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to ask everybody who's watching and in the chat a question. What would your reaction be if Christian McCaffrey says, "I can't take this anymore. Trade me"?
Good. What's your reaction? You know what? I'm with him on that. And the Panthers get to free up a bunch of cap space. Christian McCaffrey gets to go somewhere where he's probably going to win games. I like the defense, but it's excited. It's hard to get excited about the defense when the offense isn't good enough to complement them. Like this isn't
even good enough. Inept.
They're not even in like an average in it. Like an average NFL offense, the Panthers would probably be at worst 2-2. But they aren't even an average NFL offense. They looked bad today. They looked bad last week in a win. They looked bad the week before and the week before that. So, Toby Taylor says, who would take a running back with that contract? I think a lot of teams would take Christian McCaffrey, actually.
I think the Rams would.
Yeah. I think teams that on the precipice, the cusp of possibly winning a Super Bowl would go all in on Christian McCaffrey.
I think the 49ers would. They'd take him.
Oh, someone had to bring this up. I think about this every time I see the Panthers play. Let me find that comment. Essentially, he said, we wasted Cam and Luke. And I feel like I've said this before on this show. You cannot have the best offensive and defensive player in the league on your team at the same time.
And not win Super Bowl. And not win Super Bowl. I agree. You got to win. Because how many NFL teams have been able to say that? Name me one, honestly.
I cannot think of any teams that have had the best offensive player and the best defensive player on the team at the same time. And
I may say the 94 49ers who had Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders.
Okay.
And that's one team I could think of. Other than that, nothing off the top of my head. I can't think of anybody.
Oh,
what's your prediction next week, man? You didn't give a score.
40-0 San Francisco. Who cares? I don't care about that. Ain't gonna be nobody at the game. There's gonna be a bunch of 49ers fans at the game. This stat. Panthers are 1-26. Dog, you gotta go.
How do you still have a job with the stat like that?
There is nobody in this chat, you and I included, that could have a stat like that at our professional jobs and still have that professional job. No, you would have a performance report and they'd be like, Jamal,
we really like you, but
best of luck in your professional endeavors. They like to hit you with that best of luck shit. Oh my God. Okay, all right. Are we done talking about these?
Hey, I got a bold prediction, man. I have a somewhat of a bold prediction I want to share. I think by week 6, Matt Rule throws Ben McAdoo under the bus and fires him.
You know, I could see that. I could certainly see that. He did it with Joe Brady. Now I'm like, damn, we should have kept Joe Brady. Shoot.
I mean, it's no difference. It's no difference.
Joe Brady wouldn't have run the damn Wildcat. I was like, this 2008? What are we doing here? Before we move on,
You have Laviska Shenault, who is probably the fastest guy on the team, right?
Yep.
Who we haven't seen all game, right? Right? And you decide, you know what? Let's put this guy in a wildcat.
Yeah.
Not a drag route, not a reverse.
Not even a go route.
Not a go route.
Not a screen.
Let's move on, man. Let's move on.
Hey, let's end it on this. Stats said Lawrence Taylor literally believed he needed cocaine. We need players like that.
We need players like that. We need
cocaine. In the NFL. I mean, dude, if I'm out, I'm trying to save my job. I'm be slinging bricks. I'm be like West Side Gun in the locker room, like, hey yo,
boom, 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 boom.
Might sell a brick to a kicker, yo. Okay, all right. So the other team played today, and
Good Lord.
They appeared. They were on an NBA court in a nationally televised game. Playing is a bit.
There was a basketball out there. And,
yes.
You know, they dribbled it. They passed it. They shot it.
Yeah, they did stuff with it. But yeah, that didn't go too well for them. They got blown out by 41 points in the first preseason game by the Boston Celtics. Now, I try not to overreact to preseason because we talk about all the time on the show about how preseason, like, we won't even remember this game by the middle of the season. I remember last season when the Hornets got destroyed by like 60 points in the preseason by Memphis, Oklahoma, whoever it was. You know, everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's going to be a terrible season." We ended up having a winning record. So, I'm not going to overreact to that game. However, I will say that I expected a little more professionalism.
That's fair, and that's more than fair. Yeah,
because I don't think we got a professional effort from everyone, including our leader LaMelo Ball. He out there point shaving, dog. Like I don't know. Even the announcers were like, "Yeah, like what's up with LaMelo Ball? Like, what the hell are you doing out?" Like,
I know he's better than this. What's going on
exactly. Yeah, and so I get it. New coach, Miles Bridges isn't there. You're playing against a team that was just in the NBA Finals, but I don't like that excuse. Here's why that excuse is dumb. Do you know who Peyton Pritchard is? No, I don't. Anybody know who that guy is?
I know he was locking up LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier today. I know.
James Bouknight looking like he was like Gary Payton against James Bouknight. I was like. So I don't want to hear that they played against a team that was in the finals. No, Peyton Pritchard was not like a key player in the NBA Finals, okay? But he had and he was shooting threes in dudes' faces and stuff. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Hey man, before we talk about the Hornets, I want to say one thing, and I don't care who I piss off. I've never really cared who I piss off, but I really don't care who I piss off when I say this. Get LiAngelo Ball off my team. I don't care if he's LaMelo's brother. I don't
come for you.
I don't care. I don't care if LeVar has his 3 sons in the NBA and it's a great story and LaMelo's going to stay because no, he sucks. He should not be in the league.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Devil's advocate. Okay. LiAngelo Ball came in with it was about 8 minutes left in the game. He played 4 of those minutes. He didn't play 4 minutes. He went 0 for 3, all from 3, 1 rebound, and that was it.
That's it. Yep.
Now, this was the first time he ever played
against pros.
Like literally in the actual league. The first time he ever played a minute. And so I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack, okay? Because I remember LaMelo Ball's first game, he was terrible. He didn't score. Regular season game, he didn't score.
Yep.
So I'm going to let LiAngelo live a little bit. He only played 4 minutes, and, you know, I think at that point of the game, it was every man for themselves. like everyone was just doing whatever. And I think he was trying to find that balance between, do I just shoot it every time I get it? Or should I actually play some team basketball? Okay.
Right.
And I agree with this. He was launching too quick. He did look jittery. He never really sat his feet and shot. But having said that, like Danny Thompson, 14 contracts, Bridges will make 15. So yeah, I don't know who LiAngelo, like whose place he's gonna take.
I'll answer that. He's not gonna take anybody's place. Danny got it right. He'll be in Greensboro again, basically, where he needs to be.
Yeah. So
but aside
now here's the thing. Would I have liked him to play better? Of course, I want everybody to play better for the Hornets. I would have loved for him to like drop like 30 points, but he didn't. So yeah, but here's the thing. LiAngelo Ball wasn't the reason the Hornets got destroyed.
No, they got destroyed. Listen. We got off on the wrong foot. Let me back up. I don't want anybody to be under the impression that I'm blaming LiAngelo Ball himself for a 41-point damn blowout. I am not. We can start with his brother LaMelo Ball. We can start there. We can also start with PJ Washington going 1 for 7 and looking like he didn't even want to be out there in the first place. He gave no effort today on either side of the ball. We can talk about how Mark Williams looks soft. Yeah, I said it. Soft. Okay.
He got dunked on like 4 times.
Right. And the thing that I'm not going to say is concerning. Well, I'll say it is concerning actually. Okay. Going back to that blowout last preseason and going back to this one, there's one common theme. And the theme that I'm seeing is that when these teams go on these big runs, it's usually with the young guys out there. You know, it's usually with the James Bouknights and the Mark Williams and the Nick Richards, who look completely lost on the court today. McDaniel, you get the point. JT Thor. It's always the young guys who still, I feel like, have not learned the NBA game yet. Now, I'm willing to cut them a little slack. JT Thor, second year in the league. You know what I mean? Kai Jones, still very young, very raw. I'll cut them some slack. But at some point, man, these guys got to grow up. And I'm tired of seeing these teams kind of just go on runs and pull away when they're on the floor, because it's going to be that much more important if Miles Bridges is not out there, and you're going to count on some of these guys to get some big minutes.
Yeah, I don't see where the improvement is going to come from.
Yes, thank you. That's what yes.
Like I understand that Steve Clifford still needs some time to see what's what, who's right. who is the guy that is going to, you know, come out and really take his role by the horns and be that guy. But I'm not seeing anyone. Okay, so I am seeing Jalen McDaniels play like he's the only dude on the team. Now, from a statistic, if you look at his stats, he played 19 minutes, went 5 for 7,
10 points.
For 10 points. But I felt like those points came at a large expense.
Yeah.
It was like they weren't impactful. Like everything was ISO with him. I don't know if he, you know, felt like look, I don't know.
And to be fair, I'll say the same thing about Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. is probably like, look, man, I've been in this league 5-6 years now. I know I can play a little bit. I'm not trying to get everybody involved. You know what I mean? But that's going to have to change going forward into the regular season, man. Like I do want to see more cohesiveness and a bit more chemistry going forward, going into the regular season. Now, again, the preseason, it's time for them to look like trash. I'm trying not to be overly critical and overly concerned about the first preseason game against the world champions. I'm just not. But like you said, I do want to see a bit more professionalism, and I do want to see steps to gain more cohesion and more, what's the word I'm looking for? Cohesion, basically. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to. I mean, it's preseason. Who really cares if they win or not? But I just felt like they came out and there were matchups that they lost that I was really surprised. I was really surprised James Bouknight did not play better, considering like most of the game he was matched up against Peyton Pritchard. What? If you had told me before the game, man, James Bouknight gonna be guarded by Peyton Pritchard, I would have been like, oh man, he about to go off.
It's about to eat, right?
Yep. Didn't eat. Didn't even get to the buffet.
I find it kind of ironic that the guy who complained the most, who had so much to say about his playing time and pouted the most, and my coach doesn't believe in me and blah, blah, blah. You go out there and you play scared. You're not even aggressive. So I want to hear that, man. You got your opportunity. Step up and play better, period.
Now, a lot of people are upset, or not upset, but feel some kind of way about Gordon Hayward not playing today due to injury.
Who cares?
If Gordon Hayward had been perfectly healthy, I would have been upset to see him on the court today.
Who cares?
Don't play that man during the preseason, right? Also, I mean, I think precautionary, because we know that in the NBA, people underestimate how important the injury report is. Like the league tracks all that. You
can't lie on the injury report.
Exactly. So like if you bump knees with someone, you better come out and be like, Gordon Hayward bumped his knee in practice. Yeah. And I think, said that because they even said during the broadcast, Gordon Hayward was ready. He himself was ready to play. He was like, no, my knee's fine. There's nothing wrong. I'm going to play.
Yeah, and let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. Rod Boone reported that he was actually pretty upset that he didn't get to play today. And my thing is, again, man, we're talking. Here goes my Allen Iverson. My Allen Iverson language. We're talking about preseason, dude.
I'm about preseason. Right.
And just like you said, if Gordon Hayward doesn't play one preseason game, I'm fine with that. I am completely okay with that.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward does not need to, preseason is to evaluate talent that may make the team and to get guys ready physically for the regular season. Gordon Hayward doesn't need either of those. I didn't want to see him play. The fact remains, he wanted to play. Team said, nah, we'll give you a scratch, and because you bumped your knee in practice, we got to put that on the injury report. Yeah, that's all that is.
And look,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and to be clear, I also wouldn't care if he played 15 to 20 minutes, the next game. You know what I mean? It's just so insignificant to me, man.
Yeah, PJ Washington, what are you doing, bro? Stealing money.
Hey, look, while you playing, I mean, we're talking about contract year coming up. PJ, dude, come on, man, don't fumble the bag, man. Like your teammate did or was about to. Yeah.
I don't know what to think about Steve. I mean, this was the first game back as the coach of the Hornets. Yeah. You really can't evaluate. I will say this: everyone seemed to have the greenest of green lights today. And I think maybe, that's something the Hornets had during the entire James Borrego era. He just let everyone shoot and do whatever.
Where they wanted to, yeah.
Right. And I think Clifford is playing with that possibility. Like how much, of a leash do I give these guys? I don't think he's going to give them quite as much as Borrego did, but at the same time, he's going to let them go out there and play offense like they know how to play it. Big ups to Kelly Oubre though. He played well. He played well. Yeah. Everyone hates Kelly Oubre for some reason, but
I don't get it. Well. I'll tell you. Look, it sounds really crazy to find a positive in a 41-point blowout, but there is one positive that I did kind of notice, and this is specifically amongst the starters in the vets. I noticed there was a bit more attention to detail defensively. I noticed they were at least trying to get their hands, on balls, play passing lanes a little more. Kelly Oubre's on-ball defense was pretty damn good today. He actually did a decent job on Jason Tatum. I noticed those little details are a little better. However, we're talking about a coach who's implementing a new system on both sides of the ball. So you got players who are going to have to get used to it. And we just flat out missed a lot of shots. I don't mind that. Right, I don't mind missing shots. That's just going to happen some nights. What I do mind is effort and playing together, and that's the kind of stuff that's going to cost us basketball games. Again, preseason, you get this stuff out the way. I'm not sweating it too much.
Yeah, the missed shots actually didn't bother me as much because most of them came after Boston already had a massive, huge lead. But the fact that you allow Boston to shoot
22 threes,
that has been perimeter defense has been the bane of the Hornets' existence for literally like the last 10 years. Borrego couldn't fix it. Now we have to see if Steve Clifford could possibly fix it. Do I think the Hornets still make the playoffs? Now, I have said previously that I was going to pick the Hornets to make the playoffs, even without Miles Bridges. I'm not going to change that based on a preseason game. I still think I got to have faith that Steve Clifford is going to find the correct rotations because I do believe the Hornets have talent, but the thing is, you got to put that talent in the right spot so it means nothing.
Right, absolutely. Which is another thing that you can't really judge preseason off of. Like those rotations are all over the place, but they're supposed to be in a preseason game. No, there's no nailed down rotation. We don't know that yet. So again, man, it's hard to say right now. If I had to pick a win total for the Hornets, I would probably pick it exactly the same as last year. I would go 43 wins again. I really would. I
think it'll be if everyone improves the way they should, then yes. Missing Miles Bridges in his 20 points a game is going to be huge.
But Kaiser, I will say this: that's a big if. That's a huge if. And judging off of today, I'm not so confident. But again, I'm not going to overreact. So.
Yes, Kane Hockey is back. NHL preseason also has started. They're going to be, Raleigh still has the best pro sports team in the state.
That's
the only championship. I love the Canes. So I'm gonna wear my jersey. I'm gonna rock my jersey.
I just changed my profile pic to the Canes because I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just can't do the Hornets or Panthers right now, man.
Yeah, I didn't even wear my my Panthers jersey on Sunday like I normally do because I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it, man. Yeah.
Let's see. The Hornets preseason continues on. Let me get a date for y'all.
Wednesday against the Pacers.
Yes, Wednesday against the Pacers, and they play the Celtics again on 2 days after that. We'll probably beat the Pacers. Not that it matters. It's preseason. This game is at the Spectrum Center. I think the Hornets have a little one-way rivalry with the Pacers. They're still mad over the the playing game a few years ago. I think they'll come out. They'll play a little bit better. I'm going to give Mark Williams a little bit of leeway. He's a rookie. He only played 11 minutes. His first ever taste of,
NBA.
He's just got to be more physical. He cannot let he cannot let what's that guy's name? I can't even Yeah, that guy went 4 for 4, 10 points and plus 17 in only 11 minutes.
And shot a 3 in his face.
Yes.
And out-muscled him. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like, didn't you get picked higher than that guy? Right. You got to show some fire. Like, oh, no. I was a lottery pick here. Let me show you how I do. But you didn't do that. He's got to do that, I think. So, oh boy. Okay. So, actually, I do want to give a real quick shout out to Charlotte FC, who beat Philadelphia in a 4-0 shutout. And a lot of people were mad because
mad at what?
Well, no, they were mad. Charlotte sports fans can't ever be happy about shit. Right? But they were mad because the Panthers played today, so they had to keep the lines on the football field because it was expected to rain today, and they wouldn't have been able to repaint those lines and repaint the end zone. So, when you go back in the annals of history and you watch the Charlotte FC's first ever 4-goal shutout, you're going to see that the lines of the NFL field. So who cares?
Who cares? Who the hell cares? Really?
You got to respect the pitch.
Listen, man. Listen, Dan Rio scored 4 goals, and we're talking about lines on the damn football field. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, I don't. Maybe because I'm not a big enough
soccer fan
to really care. But I remember watching games in Candlestick Park, and you could see the damn baseball field.
No. You can see the pitcher's mound on the damn field.
I remember those days. Y'all young kids don't remember.
Yeah, y'all just soft, man. Playing football on the damn pitcher's mound. Y'all worried about lines?
And I guess as a kid, I used to be like, "Oh, is that a baseball field in the middle of the baseball diamond in the middle of the football field?" And the players didn't. They were just like, "Oh."
You know what's funny? The Oakland A's are still playing in that same stadium, buddy. That is the same stadium. Wow. That's the same stadium. Yep.
Wow. Yep. Real quick question to people in the chat and yourself, Jamal. Do you think the switch to artificial turf has anything to do with the Panthers' terrible offense this year?
No, hell no. That's such a cop out. I think.
Let me ask you this: do you think it was a good idea, given the fact that it's been scientifically proven that artificial turf causes more injuries than grass? Given that Christian McCaffrey, you got to bubble wrap that dude.
You want to talk about what's on the top of dumb ideas and stupid decisions? That's toward the top, buddy. When you're $30 million running back who injures himself on you worry about him injuring himself on every cut, on every turn, and you say, you know what, artificial turf works here. We're good. We're okay. That's pretty high on the list of dumb decisions. I'm not with it. Nope. Yeah. But that's Charlotte sports for you. So, oh man.
Yes, guys. I'm trying to think of anything I can think of here.
I prefer to blame Ben McAdoo more than I do the turf.
You could blame McAdoo, Matt Rule, Baker Mayfield,
Fitter,
Tepper,
Fitter.
You just blame. There's a lot of people you can blame.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey man, let's spin in a very, very quick culture topic real quick. Just really quick, man. So the baby says he's getting blackballed because he didn't sell that many records this. What are your thoughts on the baby being blackballed from the industry because he only
acted like a damn fool 24/7? Like literally, that's your thing, is acting a damn fool. That's how you got a record deal, because you shot somebody in a damn Walmart parking lot.
You beat up everybody that comes in contact with you.
You get fights in public. You beat up somebody at South Park Mall. Have you
put it on camera?
Fight at South Park Mall? Have you ever? No. But you beat up someone at South Park Mall. Beat up someone in the bowling alley. You just acted a fool, and then people don't want to hear your music, probably because it's trash. I didn't even listen to the album, but it's probably trash. And then you're like, "Oh, I'm being blackballed." Man, if you don't go by the baseball, bro, with that shit.
Let me say this, man. I told you and Rodney in the chat that I got bored enough to listen to the album. Your son Kyle can make better beats than whoever was making beats on the album. I'm not even making
no beats. Yes, he does. Yeah,
your son can make better beats than what was on that album. I don't want to hear anything about being blackballed and people hate you and blah blah blah. Your music is garbage. Switch up your formula. Yes, Prolard. He has the same flow, the same production. You're talking about the same shit you do on every album. it might be time to switch it up, bro.
No, I can't. I better stop talking because see, I might get shot outside Walmart. He might shoot me to get his sales up.
Hey, man, take one for the team. One of construction needs to promote it, man. Take one.
No R.I.P. Kaiser, but you heard that, little baby.
Hey man, I'm gonna get a Kaiser T-shirt. We're like, hey man, keep us some Kaiser.
Oh my God!
I'm constructed about that street life. Yeah. Anyway, man. Shout out. I do have a shout at. I want to shout at Charlotte football and Will Healy. Will Healy, your seat is getting real hot, buddy, because UNCC football is trash. It is even more trash than the real Charlotte football team. So it would not surprise me if I wake up tomorrow and UNCC made an announcement. That's how bad it is around town, bro. So shout out goes to Charlotte football.
Shout out for about the incident that happened Friday night at McLean High School of Science and Technology in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was a shooting at the homecoming game. One teenager was killed, another one was injured. When is it gonna stop?
What is wrong with y'all kids, man? Raise y'all damn kids.
I don't even know what else to say about it. It's like a shooting every damn week in the United States. But this is like the second homecoming game shooting I've heard like this year. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
Just take care of yourselves, please. On a lighter note, I'm going to give a shout out to a video game that I have been playing called it's called NFL Pro Era. Okay. Now it is a virtual reality game. It's out on Oculus Quest. It is an actual officially licensed NFL game. So EA, has the exclusive NFL license for Madden, but there are loopholes in that actually allow developers to make other licensed NFL games. And this is one of them. It's a VR game. You actually play as a quarterback. You pick your team and you take them through a season and you're playing quarterback in VR. If you're on an Oculus Quest, it's on there. If you're not on an Oculus Quest and have some other VR headset, you got to use a hack to play it. But it's amazing. It's mind-blowing. It feels like you're an NFL quarterback. It's absolutely crazy. If you have a VR setup, please play this game. And then you can experience for yourself how terrifying it is to play behind the Carolina Panthers offensive line. Terrifying. It's the scariest VR game I have played in a long time. Just scary. So, yeah. That's my shout outs this week. So.
Speaking of video games, so NBA 2K23 has this really cool thing where you can play in different eras. They have the Kareem era, the Jordan era, the Kobe era. The Kobe era allows you to play as the Bobcats, which is what you can attempt to build the Bobcats differently. But guess what? You have to wear Hornets jerseys. The hell, 2K? Why would you have the Bobcats in the game if you can't wear the damn Bobcats jerseys? It doesn't make any sense.
That's why they look. That's NBA Live is supposed to come back next year. I think EA is going to make a big push because 2K has been kind of garbo for maybe like the last
2-3 years.
Yeah, 2K17 was the last one I played that I really liked. By the way, since then it's been kind of garbage. So yeah, typical Charlotte. Charlotte Pro Sports is just always, everyone hates it.
Time out. Queen City Hornets, can you please tell us why you cannot be on UNCC's campus until 2020? Why are you? You know what? Never mind, man.
Yeah, shoot us another. I want to hear that story.
Yeah. Tell us that story when you get a chance, man. Anyway,
that's gonna do it for us. I gotta finish drinking because these teams, boy, they're killing me. They're killing me. So hopefully y'all have a great week. Don't worry about the Panthers or the Hornets all week. Spend time.
Live your life.
Turn off ESPN. Go out. See, it's beautiful weather outside. After hurricane weather. Go out and enjoy that at least till next Sunday, and then you can be ready to see the Panthers get beat up all over again.
And we'll be drinking again and probably depressed next week, man. So come out and
we're gonna have something a little stronger next week. So
Yeah, no doubt. Man, hey, man, I might bring some liquor by next week, bro.
Yeah, please do that. Do that.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care of each other. Peace.
Peace, y'all.